Starting off this countdown, we have Tom Cruise. Of course, I'm sure you know that Tom Cruise is a huge figure with the Church of Scientology, probably its most famous member. Well, there's a freaking legend or theory, I don't even know what to call it, that Tom Cruise is half alien or full alien, and that's why the church bows down to him. According to the Washington Post, Scientologists believe that Xenu once expelled humans to Earth from another planet, and their disembodied spirits live in everyone. So it seems that Tom Cruise might be part alien. Plus, it's also been rumored that Cruise built an alien bunker at his estate in Colorado. Why? Maybe out of fear that the aliens will come after him or something, I don't know. Plus, this dude does some daring stunts in Mission Impossible that I don't think any normal human would agree to. Just saying. Coming in at number 9, we have Will Smith. Now, I personally love Will Smith, but there's a whole theory out there that Will Smith is an alien. For starters, he doesn't age, and plus he's perfect, like a little too perfect. Let's not forget about the Men in Black movies about a bunch of secret aliens. Now people would be like, why would an alien star in an alien movie? It's the perfect disguise, like hiding in plain sight. It's pretty genius if you ask me. Coming in at number 8, we have Christopher Walken. That's my impression of Christopher Walken. Now, I'm not the person to judge a book by its cover, but Christopher Walken is on this list because people think that he just looks like an alien. Which, I mean, we can't just go call odd-looking people aliens. Anyways, besides his appearance, Walken is a pretty versatile actor. He plays different characters with ease. Maybe because he's had years of practice pretending to be a human. I don't know, man. Maybe he's an alien, maybe he's not. In our 7th spot today, we have Adam Driver. Now this seems like another silly one, cause it is. But on Reddit, people were posting about celebrities who they think are aliens, and someone had this to say, and I quote, "Adam Driver is an alien. He looks like an alien trying to look human." And that is the funniest thing I have ever heard in my entire life, and now I can't unsee it, so there you go. In our 6th spot today, we have Miley Cyrus. I don't know if you all know this, but Miley Cyrus apparently had a really creepy alien encounter. Back in October of 2020, Cyrus did an interview in which she claimed she was chased down by a UFO. Seems pretty suspicious, right? Like, why would an alien chase down Miley Cyrus? Unless she's an alien herself, or the alien was just a really big fan of hers. According to Miley Cyrus, she was driving through San Bernardino with her friend when she got chased by this UFO. It had a big plow on the front of it, and it was glowing yellow. And then apparently she went into space or something like that. I didn't quite understand. But she said, and I quote, "I did see a being sitting in front of the flying object. It looked at me and we made eye contact, and I think that's what really shook me, looking into the eyes of something that I couldn't quite wrap my head around." So fans think that Miley Cyrus is an alien. Maybe her memory was wiped when she came down to Earth, and now they're coming back for her. We're now at our 5th and halfway mark with Benedict Cumberbatch. Another person that straight up just looks like an alien. I had to say it, I'm sorry. Or an alien trying to disguise himself as human. For starters, he straight up has piercing blue eyes that will make you uncomfortable when you look into them for too long. And again, he's a very versatile actor. Did you see him playing Smaug in Lord of the Rings doing his whole motion cap thing? Like, the dude was on the floor all hunched over. He really embodied the character. Kind of like a shape-shifting alien. I don't know, man. He is either an alien or a lizard person. In our 4th spot, we have Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan is incredible. Can we all just give him a round of applause right now? Like, this dude is an amazing actor, singer, and most importantly, stunt performer. The stunts he does in his films are out of this world. Maybe literally, if he's an alien. But also, on a number of occasions, he has dislocated things and broken bones, etc. Yet, he still manages to heal super fast and get back up and continue to work. How does he manage to do this? Maybe it's because he's an alien. He's got no weakness. He falls down and dusts himself off, and then he's good to go again. For example, his most brutal injury was on the set of Armor of God. During one of the scenes, he fell straight onto his back and his head smashed on a rock. As a result, a piece of bone got wedged in his brain. He began bleeding internally and he was super close to dying. But he got up and kept going. Any normal person would have been like, hell no, I'm not doing that again. But not Jackie, because he's an alien. In our third spot, we have Elvis. Now this one took me by surprise, but there's a whole bunch of people that believe that Elvis is an alien. And actually, he faked his death. Why? Well, obviously humans can't live forever and he needed to go back to his home planet. But he misses Earth, so he comes back to visit every so often. And that's why people have claimed to have seen him. The first sighting was right after his death. They saw a man headed to Memphis airport that looked exactly like Elvis. The man purchased a one-way ticket to Argentina under the name John Burroughs, which was the alias Elvis used when booking hotels. Not only that, but on December 31st, 1977, a photo surfaced of what appeared to be Elvis sitting in Mike Joseph's pool house. And there have been many, many more sightings since. So maybe he's a frickin' alien. He just comes and goes to Earth as he pleases. In our second spot today, we have the Queen of England. Queen Elizabeth II is another individual who people truly believe is an alien. For starters, this woman is 95 years old and is going strong. She seriously does not look 95 at all. It's not only her though. People think a lot of the members of the royal family are aliens or lizard people. Conspiracy theorist David Icke believes this and has proof to back it up. So he said, and I quote, "I have traveled and been to 50 countries to research it. It took the form of meeting people who tell of experiences of seeing people, often in positions of power, change from human form to a reptilian form and back again in front of their eyes." Not only that, but obviously back in the day, those reptilian alien people were worshipped and considered gods. The royals may have gotten their start as royalty because of their ancestors being these alien people. Plus, why are they obsessed with inbreeding among the royals? Okay, it's to keep the alienness within the family. And in our number one spot today, we have Donald Trump. There's actually so much evidence as to why Donald Trump is an alien that it's scary. I could do a whole video on that alone, but I gotta keep it brief for today's video. For starters, why would Donald Trump want to be president? I don't know, maybe to find out what the government knows about his own alien kind, or even to get more alien people in powerful positions. Not only that, but there's proof that Trump is a time traveler. As we know, aliens are advanced species. Chances are they know how to travel through time with their high-tech crafts. I've mentioned this before, but there's a book out there from the 1890s called The Last President. And it's a book literally about Donald Trump. It's about an unlikely presidential candidate that won the election. Sound familiar? Even freakier, the book talks about the Fifth Avenue Hotel. The address of the hotel in the book is the exact address where Trump's tower currently stands. But wait, there's more. There's a character named Laugh Pence in the book. You know, like the vice president, well, ex-vice president Mike Pence. Either the book was written about him or the aliens used the book as inspiration as to who they could disguise themselves as, you know, like use this as Donald Trump's backstory. I don't know, man. Maybe he's an alien. Starting off this countdown, we have the New Jersey Turnpike. On July 14th, 2001, tons of individuals stopped in awe as they saw strange orange and yellow lights in a V formation in the sky. It was just after midnight when these mysterious lights appeared. They were so strange that a number of drivers stopped along the highway to look at the sky. Apparently, these lights lasted for around 15 minutes before disappearing. Daniel Tarrant, who worked for the police department, was one of the many witnesses of this bizarre event. And apparently over a dozen calls were made to the local police department reporting these lights. It definitely freaked a lot of people out. Now, what's even freakier is that air traffic controllers said that it's impossible for airplanes or jets or space flights to have made that light. So that's just ruled completely out. To this day, we still don't know what the mystery light show was. But of course, it's probably aliens. Coming in at number 9, we have the Pentagon footage.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west.
So in April of last year, the Pentagon released footage of what they said was an unidentified flying object. These videos were recorded back in 2004 and 2015, but were only finally released when they thought it was safe to do so. So in one of the videos you can see what appears to be a UFO flying in the sky. It was taken by naval aviators and it shows some sort of objects moving through the sky. In the video you can hear the pilots are in shock at what they're seeing. In fact, one of the pilots that witnessed this phenomena and captured it on video told CNN that the disc moved in ways he couldn't explain. Apparently 1 second it was there, and then next thing you know, it disappeared. He said, and I quote, "As I got close to it, it rapidly accelerated to the south and disappeared in less than 2 seconds. This was extremely abrupt, like a ping pong ball bouncing off a wall. It would hit and go the other way." Now that's pretty creepy if you ask me. Then play 18 seconds to 30 seconds.
Look at that thing, dude.
At number 8, we have the O'Hare Airport saucer. On November 6th of 2006, 12 employees at the O'Hare International Airport in Chicago witnessed a saucer-shaped craft outside of the airport. Several other people outside of the airport saw this as well. It occurred at around 4:15 p.m. that day. Witnesses say that the UFO hovered in the sky for about 5 minutes before shooting upward. When it did this, it created a big hole in the clouds. Airport employees claim that this was no way an airplane. The object was dark gray in color and around 6 to 24 feet in diameter. Some say it looked like a frisbee was just spinning in the sky, but others claim it wasn't rotating, it was just hovering. What's even weirder is how the object was very quiet. Again, to this day, no one knows what on earth it was that they saw. Maybe because it wasn't from Earth. And at number 7, we have the Maury Island incident. This one is crazy. Like, I don't even know what to believe anymore. So on June 27th, 1947, a man named Harold Dahl, his young son, and his dog went out on a conservation mission. While out on the fishing boat, they saw 6 donut-shaped aircrafts hovering in the air above them. The crafts then started dropping weird molten-type waste onto the lake. He described it as if it was raining lava or white metal. This ended up hitting his son's arm and the dog. The son was badly injured, and sadly the dog didn't survive. After the incident, obviously word got out, and then some man approached Harold saying that he also witnessed something exactly like that. But then Harold was also approached by another guy who he called, like, you know, the Men in Black, and was told not to talk about the incident. So again, pretty freaking creepy. In our 6th spot, we have the Westall UFO. Now, this next UFO sighting was actually talked about on Magellan TV's documentary called Westall 66 Suburban UFO Mystery, another great documentary. So on April 6th of 1966 in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia, a weird UFO was seen flying in the air. This was seen by more than 200 students and teachers at a nearby school. It happened at around 11 a.m. that day. The students and teachers were outside playing sports when they saw this saucer-type object in the sky. It scared a lot of the students and stunned the teachers. They described it as being a silver shiny aircraft with a purple hue to it. Others say it was more green in color. But it was twice the size of a family car. On top of that, some say they saw 1 disc, while others say that they saw 3. This incident was explored by the Victorian Flying Saucer Research Society and Phenomena Research Australia, but they haven't been able to rationalize it. To this day, it's considered one of Australia's major unexplained UFO cases. There's way more to this case than I have time to talk about, so if you want to learn more, then check out the documentary. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with the Stephenville sightings. Stephenville is a small and quiet town in Texas. Nothing too crazy happens there, it's mainly just known for its dairy farms. But on January 8th, 2008, something quite strange happened that rocked that quiet town. On this day, dozens of residents saw white lights above Highway 67. A local pilot claimed that the lights, and I quote, spanned about a mile long and a half a mile wide and traveled about 3,000 miles per hour. The lights were accompanied with silence. Now, the US Air Force did claim that it was just a plane flying in the area, but the residents aren't buying this excuse. They said, and I quote, what they saw was too technologically advanced for current human abilities. Coming in at number 4, we have the USS Unknown Craft. In 2004, a Navy missile cruiser picked up some weird radar signals coming from an unknown craft. The cruiser was sailing off the coast of Southern California when this happened. It was coming from an object in the sky. Then apparently at some point the crew saw an oval-shaped object drop into the water. The water began to churn around it. Then a few seconds later the object shot back out of the water and accelerated away. They claim it moved more than 3 times the speed of sound and more than twice the speed of fighter jets. In our third spot, we have Kenneth Arnold. On June 24th, 1947, a private pilot named Kenneth Arnold witnessed something pretty creepy while out flying. So on that day, Kenneth was out flying looking for a US Marine Corps airplane that crashed near Mount Rainier. There was a reward for anyone that could locate the plane. But while out looking, he saw 9 bright lights emitting from a shiny UFO. He claims it was traveling at around 1,200 miles per hour. Of course, if only Arnold had seen this thing, then people probably wouldn't believe him. But he wasn't the only one to witness it. A man named Fred Johnson also saw the lights and object. That same day, around the same time, he saw the object through his telescope. He also claimed that the object, whatever it was, interfered with his compass. Arnold was just going to dismiss what he saw as a mirage until Johnson came forward explaining he saw it too. In our second spot, we have the Flatwoods Monster. On September 12, 1952, 7 individuals and a dog witnessed a UFO. And then they saw what they believed to be an alien. So on this day, 6 boys aged 10 to 16, a mom and a dog, were at the park playing. While doing so, they saw a pulsing red light flash across the sky and then crash down. 3 of the boys ran to go get one of the boys' mom to then go check it out. The dog followed. When they neared the area where the thing crashed, they saw a 10-foot tall Frankenstein-like monster. That's how they described it. Even the dog was afraid and ran away from it. Apparently this monster had blood red eyes, a green face, and it glowed. It even had claws. One of the boys was so afraid he actually peed his pants. I mean, it would sound fishy if it was just a group of boys that claimed to see a UFO, an alien, but then the mom saw it too and verifies that this story is true. And in our number 1 spot, we have the Berkshire's UFO. This undoubtedly is the most mysterious and scariest UFO sighting and encounter on this list. On September 1st, 1969, something happened that changed the lives of multiple people in Berkshire County forever. So on that day, a bunch of people claimed to have seen a number of strange lights. Some people even claim that they were abducted by this bright light, or randomly time passed and they don't know what happened for the hours lost. One of the people that witnessed this was Melanie Kirchdorfer. That night, her and her family went to a Dairy Queen to get ice cream. Then they went to a nearby lake. While her father backed into the parking lot at the lake, a strange aura came around the car. They don't remember much after that, but Melanie remembers being levitated and then being on a spaceship. Another man named Tom Warner remembers being on the spaceship as well, and remembers seeing Melanie beside him. Before that, they never even knew each other. That same night, Jane and her friend Mary were driving home when they saw several bright lights in front of them. Her and a couple of the other cars actually pulled over because the lights were so bright that they couldn't see where they were driving. When they got out of their car, they saw a huge object floating over the road in front of them. And many other people also shared several stories from that night as well. So it's quite creepy that many people came forward, all random individuals with no relation to each other, but had such similar stories.
Coming in at number 10, we have communicate with them. Before we, on a more global scale, go all guns blazing, it would be a good idea to figure out what the aliens want. Perhaps they aren't being aggressive, but their behavior isn't understandable to us. We shouldn't be quick to be aggressive to them because they might just be being inquisitive. There is no point starting an unnecessary war if they're just looking to say hi. After communication, we will have a good idea on whether they're collaborators or if we're at war. Coming in at number 9, we have research them. At this point in our history on Earth, we know a reasonable amount about the wider universe. But not everything by any means. Not only could the aliens have very key knowledge that will help us when puzzling together the cause and reason for our existence, they may also have knowledge of other living colonies. Research will also help us know how these beings survive, where they come from, and what their motives might be, and again, what kind of weapons they may have in their arsenal. Coming in at number 8, we have stay in tune with the news. If aliens are planning on invading, it could be really quick or really slow. Assuming Knowing they don't have a big old laser that can just wipe out humanity in one instant, you better stay tuned to social media and the news to see what is happening near you. That way you will be prepared to move or defend yourself if you have to. Speaking of those giant lasers, coming in at number 7, we have avoid national monuments. If Independence Day or Mars Attacks or pretty much any other alien movie is anything to go by, then you really are gonna want to get away from those national monuments. In movies, aliens always seem very keen to zap like the White House, Big Ben or the Great Wall of China into oblivion for reasons unknown, so personally, I would stay clear. Seriously though, monuments are usually found in big cities, which if I was an aggressive alien hellbent on killing people, I'd probably go to those big cities first with my alien rays, because it's just a lot easier to kill people when they're all together than sparse in the countryside. Coming into number 6, we have avoid mass hysteria. In times of upheaval, people tend to lose it, and this is a big mistake. Freaking out only makes you susceptible to more problems. You don't want to get hot-headed with someone in the car park of Walmart, for example, when they're trying to loot a store, because it's just not worth fighting over that tin of beans. Fighting one another won't help. People will get hysterical, but you just need to not be one of them. Coming in at number 5, we have find shelter. If aliens are attacking you, as a civilian, you may need to duck and cover. You may need to find a base and stay there for a while. Some people will have fallout shelters, which can be a great place to wait it out. Either way, who knows what kind of chemicals the aliens will fight with? The chances are you don't want to be outside to expose yourself to any potential radiation. Coming in at number 4, we have stock up on supplies. You should always have a good supply of food and water because it will be helpful in many different types of danger. Dried foods, tin foods, packet foods, these are all good things to store just in case, as are large water containers. You should also make sure that you have any medical supplies you may need to stay alive. For example, if you're diabetic, you'll need insulin, you'll need inhalers if you're asthmatic, and epinephrine if you have strong allergies. Glasses, contact lenses, bandages, all things good to keep in your store bag. Coming in at number 3, we have brush up on your survival skills. If by any chance you find yourself evacuated from your home, your knowledge of survival skills will be imperative. Learning how to build and start fire, how to create shelter in all conditions, and how to forage for food and water will help you live in unusual conditions. Also, knowing what to wear, where to go, and what to look out for could save your life. Coming in at number 2, we have keep the population up. Oi oi, guys, you know what to do. So if the aliens' primary goal is to destroy humans, then we need to keep on making more humans. We need to keep the species alive. So yeah, I'm guessing that everybody getting lucky tonight. Finally, coming in at number 1 of our top 10 ways to survive an alien invasion, we have Know Your Advantage. Remember the movie Signs? Sure, it received extremely mixed reviews, but it also taught us a very valuable lesson. The aliens were allergic to water. Why they invaded planet Earth, which is 4/5 water, we don't know. But moving on. While Signs may not have been factually on the money when it comes to alien invaders, all life as we know it has a weakness, and if we find theirs, like fire for example, we may be able to fend them off, or even run them out of this Earth. Let's just hope that they don't come back stronger and more hellbent on killing us, because that could be a problem.